Today, I want to talk to you about something that affects like all creative people. Anyone who makes art of any kind has been through this feeling before, and that is the feeling of having so many ideas and things you want to make. Or maybe there's one specific thing, but when you start to plan out when you're going to make it, you can't get the energy and the motivation. You're so tired and groggy, but you have that desire, but there's something stopping you. It's like an unseeable force that as soon as you sit down to just like start planning things, it just feels like, no, I can't do it. Everyone who creates has been through this. I have 3 things that I've done that have really helped me to get through this feeling and to be able to get creating again and to get that energy and that spark back. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to first give an example of when this has happened to me. So recently I've really been working on my art business and creating so much stuff, and I was really in a good flow for about 2 months there where I was just nonstop making things. And then I knew I was going on this trip, and I got to go on a trip to see my family and explore Japan a little bit more. This trip was like 2 weeks. I brought my sketch pad just in case I wanted to sketch on this trip, but of course things were so busy and it was nonstop, and I really didn't have time or a desire to sketch. I just wanted to be in the moment and experiencing things. So I didn't create for like over 3 weeks. Actually, maybe close to a month that I didn't make anything, coming off of a period where all I did was create. And so after this trip, not only was I gone and not creating, but I also came back and I was like so sick. I felt like garbage for another extra week. So that was another time that I couldn't create. And I was down for the count. I was completely congested, tired, I felt feverish. There was no way I was creating anything in that week, and I was still recovering from this trip and just getting my energy back. And so all these things led me to feeling like I couldn't make anything. And I didn't have energy just in my regular daily life, so there was no way I had energy to create something. So this whole time, in my mind, I'm thinking, I want to get back to my business. I want to get back to my art. I have so many plans of things I want to paint, and I got to get started, and those feelings. But it was impossible for me to. So I was kind to myself, and I didn't rush myself to hurry up and get back. I think that's like the creativity killer, is when you're like, just do it, do the thing. It's just another task off the list. Hurry up and knock it off the list. Don't do that to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And if you're sick, let yourself be sick. Let your body go through the natural process of healing, and wait until you feel healthy again, or at least healthy enough to start creating. But after you're better, if you've gone through this period where it's been like a month or even longer since you've created, these are things that have helped me to get back on track and to feel like myself again, to feel that creativity again, and to be excited about creating. The first piece of advice I have is to think about everything in the last year that you have thought about creating. Maybe you have a sketchbook with ideas in it, or just something that has been on the back burner, or something that you had previously thought would be so fun to create or to draw, but for whatever reason you pushed it aside and said, no, these projects are more important, let's do the important ones. I really hope you can't hear these loud birds. If you can, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you can think of anything in your mind where you had an idea and it seemed just like so fun and you got like a spark of inspiration, but then you couldn't create it because something got in the way, life got in the way. My first tip is to allow yourself to create that thing that for whatever reason you were unable to in the past. I do believe if you dig deep, you will find it. For me, I was craving painting something cute just because it evokes that emotion in me of just how cute this is, and it makes me feel something. And I think that painting cute things is just it's fun. I want to say a while back, some friends on this island took a picture of these goats, and it was so stinking adorable. And as soon as I saw this picture, I was like, I'm gonna need to use that. I'm gonna need to use that as a reference. But I had a lot of other things in mind to do first, so I kind of forgot about it. And when I was first coming out of this cloud of just tiredness, that was what I knew I wanted to create, just to get the spark going again, to be like, I'm not hopping into something I need to do or something that feels like it's something I should do. It's something that you purely want to do because you know it's going to be fun and it's going to satisfy you. If nothing immediately comes to mind, I want to challenge you to take out your journal or just start thinking in your mind, like, what would be so much fun right now to create? It doesn't have to be something complicated or not something that feels heavy. Like when you think about making it and it feels like, oh, that's so daunting, I don't want to do it. Think about something that when you're creating it, you know you're gonna feel excited. It might even be something funny or just something unexpected. What is that thing for you? I guarantee there is something that you've been putting off or that you've been wanting to try that you never have before because things got in the way. Sit with yourself, think about it, and when you figure that out, create it, because I think you're gonna be so satisfied by the end of that when you indulge in your own ideas. I mean, if we're not here to create our own self-indulgent ideas as artists, what are we here for? It's nice to allow ourselves to create just what it is we want selfishly. So that's my first piece of advice. My next piece of advice is to simply take a walk. It could be somewhere where you go often or where you never go. I guess those are all the options. So either type of walk. If you walk somewhere where you walk often, my challenge to you would be try to find things that you've never found before. You'd be surprised if you walk the same path every day, how many new things you'll find if you really pay attention. And those things always spark something in me. There's an element of surprise to it that is kind of inspiring and exciting. I live in a subtropical rainforest right now, so I find new bugs all the time, and just when I thought I've seen the last bug and I've seen all the bugs on the island, I get surprised and find more that I've never seen. Stuff like that to me excites me, and no matter where you live, you could find something that you have never found before. Even if you live in a big city or wherever it is. I've lived in many different environments. I've lived in a bigger city, I've lived in small town, and now I live on a subtropical rainforest, and things are always changing. I challenge you to either walk somewhere that you go often and try to find something new, or go to a completely new environment. The cool thing about going to a completely new environment and walking around and exploring, to me, I feel like when I have the same environment every day, when I'm in the same places every day, we tend to have the same thoughts. Not like we can't have new thoughts, but when we're in a new environment, it's easier to have new thoughts coming up because there's new stimuli, there's many different things we've never seen, and so we're thinking about all those things in our minds, and we don't have the opportunity to do that if we're in the same place. So getting in a new environment can shake up any stagnancy and just renew your energy and make you feel more inspired again. Something you might want to do is bring your sketch pad or something like that so you can write down ideas. Bring your camera so you can take pictures. That's what I do all the time. And just enjoy the new environment, mark and write down any new things that you see or anything that seems fun. I guarantee you will come back feeling renewed in some way and having a different perspective. My last tip for you is to dive straight into a completely different hobby. This sounds counterproductive. I know it sounds like, why would I do something completely different if I want to do this other thing? But hear me out. Do you have I'm sure if you're a creative person, you have many different things that you like to do, and maybe there's varying levels of interest in each of these things. I think sometimes the problem is that we need to get away from what we're creating regularly and to explore a different hobby or do something different that can help us build momentum for our next big project. Something where the problem solving is easier, but it's still satisfying and fun to do, and it's not going to give us pressure or make us feel like we need to do this right away. Let's say you're a writer or a painter, but you also love crochet, but you also love macrame or pottery. Dive into that other thing that's more like your just for you hobby. Make something really self-indulgent for yourself. I really like to create things that have some sort of functionality to it, whether it's something I can wear. Like I love to make jewelry. I would love to get into crocheting too. I love the creative problem solving of trying to make something that I could use in my daily life for something that I do all the time. It could be something dumb like one of those like mug sweaters that would be super cute, or just think about what could enrich your life and it's something that you don't need but something that you want, that's self-indulgent and will allow you to just go with your gut. Speaking of going with your gut, creating something that's just for you and has no pressure also helps you to trust your gut again. It helps you to remember what it's like to be creative and go with the flow of your own creativity and your own mind. These are just a couple random ideas I have for hobbies in case you don't have another one. There's jewelry making, gardening, macrame, crochet, pottery, stained glass. That could be a fun one. And then I wrote etc, etc. So those are just a few extra ideas in case you're completely blank and you don't know. I think of gardening as creating in a way. I don't know why. I know sometimes you're literally just pulling weeds or cutting plants or watering, whatever. You're creating something new still in my mind. So I think there's an art to that. So don't limit yourself and don't discount any of your hobbies. It also helps us to make decisions purely with our heart rather than our brain. And that's where you want to be when it comes to creativity. You want to be making decisions with what's in here, not what's in here, because what's in here can be limiting and can tell you, don't go for that. You know that is not safe enough, or that's not going to work. It reminds you of what it's like to be creative again without like any pressure or any expectations, just pure fun. And that's a really great place to be when you're wanting to get back into that feeling of being creative again, because you will be able to follow your heart and you're not going to let your head get in the way, because there's no one out there that's going to tell you that's wrong, because you made it for you and it's never wrong when you made it for you. Speaking of pressure and expectations and all that, I think that the best thing you can do for yourself is to not put too much pressure on yourself to hurry up and get back to feeling how you did before. Things naturally ebb and flow in life. You're supposed to be able to have periods where you're super creative and you're super productive or whatever, and then there's supposed to be times when you're not creating as much and when you're taking life in and you're gathering inspiration. It's not like a lot of other things that we could be doing. It's so different when it comes to creativity. Especially artists, I believe, are very often cyclical beings where we have those ebbs and flows, and it's not like straightforward like this. And I don't think that it should be. I don't feel like we should be pressured to feel like every day has to be the exact same, and it shouldn't be the exact same, because as creatives, you know that would be boring. So just ride the flow and you will get your energy back no matter how you feel right now. Even if it feels like you won't, you'll get your energy back, you'll get your creative spark back. Just keep feeding into what makes you happy and what gives you energy, and take care of yourself. Number one, take care of yourself and you will be feeling much better soon. That's all I have for you for things that got me out of a creative rut and like really got my creative spark back again. So if this video was helpful for you, I think you would love my artist newsletter. It talks more about my creative process, things that are happening in my life. There's a whole section for my dog, and you get monthly pick an art tarot readings. And what this is I pull a card from my tarot deck. I have 3 different pieces of art that I created, and you choose whichever piece of art just like resonates with you, or whichever one you like most. Pick that one. and there's a tarot reading for you based on which one you pick. I thought that would be so fun. It'll kind of help give you insight to the month ahead or just something to ponder on for the month ahead. You'll also get free downloadable artwork that you can cut out and use as bookmarks or just a fun display on an altar or just anywhere in your house. Whatever you want to do with it, it's yours to keep. The newsletter is completely free and will also include details about my new Etsy shop that I'm creating. I'm so excited about, and I would love to have you. So if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, then you can click the link down below in the description. I also have the link to my artist website so you can look around at my artwork and see more about what I'm about. I would be happy to have you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and take care of yourself. I'll see you soon. Need to rotate my butt cheek. There we go. Am I recording? Yeah, okay. Right? Recording, right? You felt such, you probably had a, bleh. So the first piece of it, this bird is mocking me. I think it's better to be slightly uncomfortable, you know? I got a haircut, do you like it? I got layers.